Today's reading lesson is a reading strategy called Big Fox. It's something that you use with reading nonfiction text, and you use it before and after your reading. So let me teach it to you. So the first thing you're going to do is get a nonfiction article, and I'm going to model for you how this goes. And the first thing nonfiction readers want to do is orient themselves to nonfiction texts, especially as they get complex and harder. Orient yourself means kind of getting used to the text. Because if you think about nonfiction text and you have a nonfiction article, sometimes they have like pictures, they have these like big, bold words, they have infographics, they have power words, they have captions. They just have a lot going on. So the first thing you want to do is really orient yourself to what's happening and what's going on. Okay, so the Big Fox acronym stands for, the B stands for big, the B stands for bold, excuse me. The B stands for bold, the I stands for italics or other special fonts, the G stands for graphics. So what that means is you're going to look at a nonfiction text, and this is before you read, and just notice all the bold words. You're basically previewing the text. This is a great strategy because it kind of helps your brain to see what you're about to read. If you think about a movie that you've ever watched, you probably saw the preview to the movie before you might have watched the movie. It helps you to know what's going on. So the B stands for bold. You're looking for bold words because those words are probably very important to your reading. And when you notice a lot of the bold words, it might even give you an idea of what it's all about. The I is italics. It's that funny looking slanted font that writers use. Sometimes it's used to show that it's a title, and sometimes it's used to just stress something that could be also important. G stands for graphics. Nonfiction text has a ton of graphics usually because it's harder to read nonfiction without graphics. So notice the pictures, notice the illustrations, notice maps, notice any graphic organizers like charts or diagrams. You can't just gloss over that. You really need to notice them because what nonfiction text, when you see that, it's actually teaching you more information. So it's very important to notice that. All right, let's jump into an article where we can practice the big part of Big Fox. We have an article here called Hard Knocks. Hard Knocks is an article about, and if I look right there, it says Hard Knocks, but right here, this is called a deck heading. And this tells me what my article is all about. How engineers, doctors, and coaches are working to protect the brains of young athletes. Okay, so if I'm looking for the big in Big Fox, that's bold words, I see a couple. I see concussions. I see, let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger for you guys. I see the word velocity, accelerate, neurologist, and these are bold too. These are called subheadings. All shook up, words to know. These are also in bold, these exact words that I just told you. And then we've got high-tech helmets. We have force, new rules. And then this is an extra page with some extra articles on it that are not part of the main article, but just give more information. So we've got a lot of bold words. So if I were to practice that strategy, I would grab these words, and you probably just like write them down. Now, we don't always have time to write some words down, so I'm just doing this just to show you guys how to do it. But these are the words that I've noticed are in bold. And like we said, authors will sometimes write with these bold words because they want to show you that these are important. And if you look at these words, they all seem like science-related words or technical kind of words. So I know that this is probably going to be a very technical kind of article, very science-related. All right, now let's look at italics. Let's see if this article has any italics going on. I do see some italics. Let me actually go to the first page. Let's see, nothing major there. But on this page right here, I do see right here, it says see warning signs, page 6. And then let's see, on this third page, I don't see any italics. So right here, I would probably say it was a reference to see warning signs. So it's kind of showing us that we need to go to page 6 and look at that text. And then graphics, what graphics, pictures do we see? Well, if we go back, there's a lot of graphics in this article. So the front one, I see a big tackle by 2 players. So I see inside a player's helmet and the brain inside of what causes a concussion. In fact, it gives us the steps. And then I see more pictures of players and how there's helmets and how there's examples of possible concussions. So we've got a lot there. So I'd probably write on here, let's see, whoops. On here, what kind of graphics do we see? We see a diagram of inside of someone's helmet. We see players and examples of them having possibilities for injury and things like that. Those are the main types of graphics that we see. Okay. So the Fox part of Big Fox Strategy is after you read. So I'm going to let you pause this video and go ahead and read the Hard Knocks article. And then when you're ready, you'll unpause this video. All right, if you've unpaused this video, we're going to talk about the Fox part. So F stands for 2 facts that you learn from the article. Now, they should be facts that are really important, and I like to choose facts. Like if I were having the beginning, the middle, and the end, I wouldn't want to choose just facts only from the beginning because in the beginning, they're just usually introducing something. I really like to kind of mix it up. So it could be the beginning, middle, it could be the middle and the end. That's where a lot of the important stuff is. Or maybe a lot of the important stuff is mainly in the middle, and it could be 2 from the middle. So 2 facts that you learn from the article. O stands for your opinion about the article. What is your thought or your belief? When you have that opinion, I think it really helps you to enjoy nonfiction reading. And then X marks the spot is for X. You draw an X in your magazine where you think the main idea of the article would be, and then you just quickly summarize the main idea in 1 or 2 sentences right on that line. All right, so let's practice this with the Hard Knocks article. Okay, we go to the Hard Knocks article, and that was the introduction right here. And then we have this first section that says all shook up. There's some important information here, but an important fact that really stood out to me kind of came at the end of that first subheading. It's right here. It says repeated brain injuries can cause problems that last much longer. So I think that's a very important fact. I'm going to put it right here. Repeated brain injuries can last much longer. Now, I'm not going to write the whole thing just because of time and space, but you get the idea. My second fact, I'm going to choose probably something from the middle to end. So I'm going to go into high-tech helmets and new rules because that looks like the middle and the end. And after I had read that, it says that athletic companies are making the helmets a lot better with sensors and kind of in this section, it says there's a lot of new rules that are going to help stop those injuries. So I would probably write that they are developing better, more like high-tech helmets, better helmets, and giving new rules to help players feel safer. Okay? All right. So now the opinion. What is my opinion about what I have read? I feel after reading this article that it seems like this is an important topic for sure, because I know so many kids that play sports, especially ones that are physical. So it's definitely an important topic, and it is so good to see technology advances and doctors and health professionals helping. I didn't write all that, but just because of time, but you get the idea. So you just write your opinion. And then the X part is draw an X in your magazine next to the main idea of the article. So we're going to go back to the article. And where do we think is the main gist of it? Where is the main idea? There's actually in this article a couple of main ideas. So there's a couple here, but let's see. It could be, let's see. There's a couple here, but I think these solutions are like part of the main idea, where they're talking about these high-tech helmets. So let me get that. Okay, here we go. That's what this works. Okay, so we're going to go and say that this section where my cursor is the probably the main idea, where they're having a lot of solutions to the problem. Now, if you find something else that's a different main idea, I think that's okay. And then I would summarize it here. I'm going to say that concussions are a problem, but lots of solutions are being tried. I apologize for my messy handwriting here, I'm trying to use my pen, and so it gets a little tricky. But that is how you use the big fox strategy.